Motivational Monday. I am your girl, Jacquie O. And y'all, we are super, super excited to be back. I hope y'all are just as excited as we are to see us back. So this is our first show for the year of 2022. And again, we are super excited to be back and doing Motivational Monday, bringing you awesome material and resources and some phenomenal, just magnificent women that are doing it. They are experts in their fields. They are doing it in their communities, impacting lives. And y'all, that is what Motivational Monday is all about. We want you to be inspired and motivated to action. Y'all remember motivated and inspired to action. So when you finish watching one of our shows, we want you to be motivated, inspired to action. So tonight we have a very special guest, Cicely Carr. She is the owner of Kindred Creatives, and she is going to be joining us to share with us her journey from the classroom to entrepreneurship. But I wanted to give y'all just a couple of announcements. Y'all know how we do the church announcements. So a couple of announcements before we get started. Y'all know that every first Monday of the month, we are doing Motivational Monday. We used to do it every Monday, but now we are doing it only every first Monday of the month. And then every third Monday of the month, you got Cooking with Jacquie O. We have incorporated a cooking show, and we are super excited. And I'm even more excited because on the 17th, my baby son, all the way in Cali, is going to be joining us, and we have a treat for you guys. So y'all have to tune in 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time for Cooking with Jacquie O. So are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I know I am ready. Let's welcome in Miss Cicely Carr. Hey, Cicely.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being a part of our show on tonight. We are just really honored that you are here with us, and we're going to hop right on into our show. Cicely, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
All right. Well, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Cicely. I am the owner of this bookstore that I'm in right now in Louisville, Texas. I resigned as a full-time teacher to pursue this. I'm a creative. One of the reasons why I have this specific space is because I wanted to create every day. I don't know if that's happening every day, but some creativity is happening. I'm originally from Minneapolis, and I've been in Texas this is going on my 6th year, and I started life over, had started a new career, new place, and, just have been flourishing ever since I got here. What else? I'm an artist, a writer, and just a promoter of peace and love and literacy and creativity. But yeah, that's a little bit about me in a nutshell.
All right. And oh my goodness, and you have a pet.
Oh yes, I am a fur mom. My baby.
A fur mom.
Yes. She is a very spoiled young lady, and I didn't want to do the interview at home because she would have been like trying to be all in my face, and I'm like, let's be professional here, Canary. But yeah, she's awesome.
Oh, that is so sweet. Yes. And so, Cicely, speaking of your bookstore, you're actually in your bookstore now. And yes. The bookstore is in Louisville at the Music City Mall. And what inspired you to, open a bookstore, to go from teaching to open a bookstore?
Right. So I love literacy. I love reading. I love how words have power. And then also it's the creativity aspect of it. And so I was teaching high school. I've been teaching for a very long time. So it started off when I was in Miami working with children who were reading. They were way below grade level. And so we implemented literacy tutorials and stuff like that. And so that was my eye opener with how words, can empower a young person or open up the whole world. And so I'm teaching high school English, I'm teaching special ed, and I'm just like, these kids don't like to read. They don't, I just was struggling because I want to do something that's not like work. Like I want to do something I'm passionate about, and teaching became work. And so like I wanted to figure out a way to promote the love of literacy, but not in such a regimented way, like really strict. You have the administrators always down your throat. You got to test the kids. You got to do this. And I'm like, this is not what I guess I did sign up for that, but I did not understand how that would affect me and the kids. And so, I remember being in a training, and they're like, yeah, kids love to read up until age or grade 3. And then it just declines. And the reason why was because that's when they started testing them for reading. And so instead of reading for pleasure, now it's like, what does this mean? What is this? Choosing a letter, read, and so I just was like, this is not fun. And so I wanted to be able to put on events and programs that, helped empower these young minds. And so having a bookstore that represents them. So almost all the books on the shelves are, written by Black folks or, have Black faces on them. We have products in here. So I wanted to create an atmosphere where they can come in and they can see, people like to write. Black people love to write and read, and it's beautiful. And so I was like, I have to approach this a different way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And what I really like too about your bookstore, not only because our products are there, I had to put that little plug in,
Yeah.
but it is a collective, as you stated. You have different makers and you have different artists, and I do believe that that is important for our children to come into a bookstore and they see books, and in the books is people that look like them,
right?
That they can identify with. Or what type of struggles have you experienced with the bookstore in reference to, getting books and just going from being a teacher in the classroom, now you are a full-time entrepreneur and you're still teaching in a way. So what struggles have you had?
So I think a lot of the struggles come with maybe finances, like trying to get people into the store. I feel like I'm marketing, but I guess I'm not doing it, to fidelity or whatever. But just getting people in here to support. And, people will be like, you don't have this book? And I'm like, well, I need to make money to get that stuff. So that's one of my biggest struggles is the financial support. And then also just, I want to get a lot more people on the shelves, collective makers and authors. But I just feel like I don't know what their hang up would be because I'm on the other side. And so, it would be awesome to get a lot more, people in here having shelf space. And so one of my goals was, I believe you said it in the video, the promotional video, is that I want to help remove those censors. And so having shelf space, having your books and creative works on the shelves without having to be told no is like empowering. You're like, oh my gosh, my stuff is on a shelf. People can come in and buy it. And so like it's hard to get into like Target and all these other places unless you have really good connections or, so I just want to be able to remove those censors, remove those blocks, and, provide a collective space where people can come and, feel supported. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I believe that money is a big part of a lot of small businesses, such as yourself and even myself, that we have to navigate around. And so I know that can be frustrating at times. So what do you do to keep going? Because you have this love, you have this passion, but we know you need more than probably that. So what do you do to keep going?
Oh, that is so good. And so that's right on time. So, I believe in God, and I believe God, is a provider, and I'll do a praise report real quick. And so, in January, I had COVID. And so I had to shut down for 10 days. And then I threw my back out twice. And then I didn't make enough for rent. And I'm just like, what is happening? What can we do? And then, like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, here, and make these book lists, make these book lists. And then I'm just like, I think it was January 31st or something. And I logged into this account that I make book lists on, and it said, where do we send this $1,094, which is my rent? And I was like, okay. So I was like, oh my God, thank you for providing. And so just always just believing. And so another thing that I had to focus on is not looking at other people. So that's a huge struggle, because I'm in a mall and I'm seeing all the people look in my store, but walk past and then go into a different store. And so that it was hurting, like, my not ego, but just like, I felt like I was taking it really personally. And I was just like, I probably shouldn't do that. So that's something that I'm working on. And so, but like, just focusing on what I'm doing, staying in my lane, and, just trusting and believing, and just not, and that was another thing. I'm not giving up. I can't give up. Like, we're not. Oh, another thing. So I listened to this. I was listening to Sarah Jake Roberts, and she's like, you can't go into something looking for the exit strategy or the exit, whatever it's called. If you're focusing on the exit, like how it's going to fail, then you're going to fail. And so you go in there expecting, to be committed and it will flourish and all these things. And so just always having positive thoughts coming in, positive words, and positive people. Like, like Jacquie, y'all, she is amazing. Like, she has, first of all, I'm like, she has been helping me out, like, tremendously. And I just be like, oh my gosh, like, she helped me set up this back over here. I was like, because I'm confused sometimes. And so, like, just knowing that you need people, like, supportive people who believe in your mission, and people who want to see you, be successful. You definitely, those are the people you need in your corner.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the praise report. Yeah. Because, God is always right on time. Like, you're sitting there thinking, how is this going to happen? And he's already behind the scenes, right? Just clearing the path and making everything happen. And he tells us that he makes everything work for our good. And so that was an awesome praise report. Like,
I was like,
yeah, because, that also gives you hope, and it gives you, you're like, I can still go. I can make it, because here God has showed up. And when he does it, like with that, no one can say it was them. You already totally know that it was him that did it. So yeah, I love that praise report. And then another takeaway when you were saying about Sarah Jakes, that's so true, because if we're always looking at how we're going to fail, we'll never be in the present moment of how we're going to make it. And so that's good that you have changed and being intentional pretty much on how you're thinking.
Yep, most definitely.
Yeah, I like that. And so share with us some of so we talked about, some things that you struggle with, but share with us some of your tips that you would give to a business owner, about 3 top tips that you would give to a business owner.
Okay. So, I mean, if you're going to start a business and you're just starting out, just know that there's going to be a lot of trial and error. And, it takes money to make money. So you're going to have to invest. You're going to have to risk some things. And you're going to have to be okay with that. So just making sure that mindset is like, okay, I know it's not going to be successful the first day I promote. It's going to take time. So just being patient with, the people, but also yourself too. And do not feel like, show yourself grace all the time. I remember telling my students, I'm like, be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself. You're doing good. You're fine. And just be gracious. It's like we can be gracious with everybody else, but we are just like our worst, critics, and we're just so hard on ourselves. And I'm like, we're supposed to be like our biggest champion. Like, if we don't believe in it, then they're not going to believe in it. Yeah. And then, so that's 2. And then 3, find people. So this has been my biggest lesson, because I'm used to doing things all on my own. I'm the only child. I've been single pretty much all my life. Even when I was married, I felt single. No, not because I chose to, but it was just like, yeah. So single, just always, doing things on my own. And I had no problem doing that. But it comes to a point where you're like, you need people to help out, and you have to be okay with asking for help, whether it be like, I need money, or I need you to come watch the store, or I need your idea with this. But there's a caveat to that. Like, you can't take everybody's opinions either. So you got to be careful with, who you are talking to, because some people don't have your best interests at heart. And so just protecting your mind, your product, your business, and then just trusting. If you believe in God, trusting in God.
Yeah, that's good. And that's so true about not trusting everyone, because everyone does not have your best interests at heart. And what I love about you, Cicely, the time that I've known you, is that you are a giving person. And, when you mentioned earlier how I come in and I help, it's easy to come in and to help when you are helping someone, that is really a warm, a kind-hearted person. And, we are women, and we're both in business, and we both want to succeed. And so it's very important that we do surround ourselves with people that want us to succeed. They want to see us succeed, and we want to see them succeed. And how can we help them? Right? How can we help them? And I know networking is a big part of that as well. How do you feel about that? Do you feel that that is a huge component of your business and helping to grow your business?
Oh, yes, most definitely. And so whether not, like, you don't have to necessarily go to like a networking event, but, building those relationships online, meeting people, posting. So like my best friend, I've only seen her in person, I think 3 times, and we've known each other for like 7 years, but we met online and we became like good friends, accountability partners. We were each other's champions. And so we like found a groove where we're just like, we're always like, okay, what about this? What do you think about my business here? Or what do you think about this product? What do you think? And so we're always going, bouncing ideas. And like, I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs' best friends they've come from like online, especially when you put yourself in those communities. You're like on Facebook groups, you're doing certain things, and, your tribe will be attracted to you. Right. But yeah, so networking, building those relationships, and also like being careful too, discerning, people's intentions. Because I've had some, some strong people who have tried to push up, on me in the store, trying to get in here, trying to manipulate me. And, and so that I need to work on my communication, like being stern, but instead of just kind of ignoring it. So just being, watching people's spirit, how they react to you, how they're talking to you. But yeah, you don't have to be friends with everybody. You don't have to work with everybody. You can say no. That is okay. And yeah, not everybody is for you. So.
And I love the part that you said that you can say no. And not everybody is for you. Because I think when we're first starting out, we feel that we have to say yes to everything and everyone, but that's not how it goes. And so it's okay to say no. And as you said too, have discernment, because everything is not for us. I really like those points that you gave. So Cicely, as we're wrapping this up, tell us, how can we find you? And then tell us, how can we help you? Okay. Somebody could be watching and saying, oh yeah, we would love to help you. Yeah. How can we find you, and or let me redo it. How can we help you, and how can we find you?
Okay. So, well, since I'm all about, creating and providing a platform for other creators, you can support us by purchasing those creations. So this bookstore has an online website. So if you're not here locally, you can definitely go online and purchase some products, get some books, some other things. And then also, like, from my personal side, like, so I work about 6 jobs. And so that's another thing for full-time entrepreneurs. Like, you might have to do a gig life if you just do not have like $100,000 to sit on, if you
Yeah.
don't have that. But yeah, so if you don't have that, you might have to have multiple gigs. And so I wouldn't call it a gig because it's one of my passions. I love to create. I love painting. I love making jewelry and stuff like that. So I just launched my website. It's called CicelyRenee.com. And so there's like sweatshirts, there are art prints, jewelry. I have to update it some more. And I just launched my new digital ebook, guided journal, and it's called The Power and Peace. And so it kind of walks you through, pursuing the peace as a lifestyle, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of that. So if you go on there, if you use a code called Seek Peace, SEEK, Peace, and use that at checkout, you get it half off. So that's
Okay.
for y'all, okay?
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Tell us
All
your
right. And
website
so,
again.
huh?
Tell us your website again.
Yes. So that's
Okay.
CicelyRenee.com. And so the 50% off is off of that e workbook, guided journal, and CicelyRenee.com. And the code is Seek Peace.
Okay.
That is the code. And so you can find that website. And then we have Kindred Creatives Zine.com. You can follow on social media, which is Kindred Creatives ALP on both Instagram and Facebook. But yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And Cecily, one thing too that as you were talking, I was thinking about is when you started your business and you said you took a chance on you and to do what you wanted to do. And because you took a chance on you, you went into your savings. Is that not
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Yes. And so But that's just a testament of you totally believing in what you were doing and your bookstore that you were like,
Mhm.
okay, I am going to take my savings
Right.
and put this into this business because I believe in it. Not only did you believe in it, but you trusted God that He was going to bring you through it. And so I love that too about your story and just your personality and who you are. And so, guys, y'all heard it. Cecily, and she has some really nice prints. She has some really nice prints, some really nice jewelry. So I'm going to put in the caption all of her contact information so you guys can contact her. And please support. If you're not in the Louisville area, she is in Music City Mall. I believe your suite number is 2104.
2130.
2130. So that's in Music City Mall in Louisville, Texas. That's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you are not local, then you can go online and you can purchase products. Because if I'm not mistaken, pretty much everyone that's in her store is also on her website. And so y'all can purchase books, you can purchase candles, you can purchase skincare, you can purchase t-shirts. I mean, you can purchase pretty much everything on the website. So Cecily, thank you so much for being with us on today. And Cecily, you just launched your website too, and you're going to be doing motivational speaking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I want to
All
speak
right.
more. Yeah, that's my goal is
Okay.
I had this dream of, being like an Oprah Winfrey. And so I
Okay.
have a blog too. So that's where I think that came from. Being able to empower and, inspire mostly women. So like my audience is women. So that is my thing. So if you ever want me to come, my other specialty is the youth, so I definitely empower the young folks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I
So
have
yeah.
one more thing to say for
Oh
the
yes, girl. Go
entrepreneurs.
ahead.
So I want, because you said something, about my savings and then opening up. And so I actually was like reflecting. I was like, my business it's not just a business. This is like a purpose, a mission,
Yeah.
and so, yeah, I've been in the Bible lately. And so there's a Bible study plan on the Bible app, and it talks about Mr. Rogers and how I did not know he was a minister. He was a Christ believer, and he just wanted to preach the word, but he didn't want to explicitly preach, or he was called to television. And so he was Christ-like on his TV show. And I was like, oh, so this is like my church, and my ministry and how I minister to people. And so if you're going to open a business, I really encourage you to have like a mission-based business, mission-driven, and not just money-driven.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because, we all have a purpose. We all are here for a reason. And so our businesses, when we go into business, it should be just that. We should have a mission, a purpose. We should be serving other people. And then everything else will fall into place, when we're doing what we're called to do and we're doing our purpose. So I really like that you said, you did mention that when you start a business, it's not just to be making money. Yeah, we do want to make money, but there's a purpose and a mission that's behind the business. So Cicely, thank you so much. And she does have a purpose and a mission. So you guys, please support her by visiting her store, again, her website. And we will, again, put all of that information in the caption so you could see it. Oh, thank you, Candace. She said, great interview.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you to everyone that tuned in with us on tonight. This was beautiful. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, again, for tuning in with us tonight. And thank you, Cicely, for being here with us. And do you have anything that you want to close us out with?
I just want to thank you for having me on the show and giving me an opportunity to share my, story. So thank you so much. And to close out, just follow your heart. No,
Follow your heart.
Yeah, follow your heart. Yeah.
Follow your heart.
Trust yourself.
And trust yourself and trust the process.
Yes.
Because there is a process and it's not going to happen overnight. We have to work at it, but in the end, it is going to be all beautiful and glorious. So that's one thing we have to remember too, is we have to trust the process, because there is a process to this work that we're doing. Well, again, Cicely, thank you so much for joining us, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Guys, thank you so much to everyone that tuned in. Thank you to Cicely, again, our special guest with Kindred Creative. I will be putting all of her information in the caption so that y'all can follow her. You can purchase from her. And remember, Motivational Monday, we are only doing once a month now. So every first Monday, you will find us right here on Facebook at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we will have another phenomenal guest on next month. And on the 17th of this month, it's Cooking with Me, your girl, Jacquie O. And my baby son, Trey, is going to be joining me. And we will be cooking up some really great stuff. So y'all be sure you tune in for that. As well as just follow. Oh, thank you so much. As well as we will be on the 26th of February, we have an amazing workshop that's coming up. It's called Strengthening You. And if y'all attended our workshop that was back in October, it was like off the chain. So we're doing it again, and it will be on February the 26th for us in the States. And then in the Philippines and in Japan, it's going to be on the 27th. And we have some amazing women that are going to be presenting at this workshop. So follow us on our page. Go ahead, and if you like our page, you'll see the information in the event section. Subscribe to us on YouTube, because we'll be streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook this Strengthening You workshop. But until then, we hope that you have an amazing week, and we love you guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you the next time. Bye-bye.